Welcome. We'd like to invite you on a trip down memory lane as we explore a portion of the history of Davis County, Iowa, as told through some of our heritage barn quilts. More than just paintings, these heritage barn quilts represent blocks stitched by local quilters. According to many sources, the idea of barn quilts got its origin in 2001 in Ohio, but these particular quilt blocks are tied to the stories of Davis County, Iowa families whose history covers a span of more than 150 years. Barn raising. In 1903, when she was just 17, Leffie Clark, who lived on a farm south of Bloomfield, meticulously pieced 4,116 tiny strips together to create log cabin blocks. She then set the blocks into a traditional barn raising quilt. This block is displayed on the west side of the Dutch Country General Store. Rose Wreath and Lone Star. These blocks represent two of the many quilts Rosie Good stitched during her long life. Rosie and Ellie Good, a prominent businessman, built the house beside this barn in 1910. It was home to their many children, whose names all began with the letter D. Rose of Sharon. This block is from a quilt created by Martha Ann Church Harbor, who lived in the Mormon-built log cabin in northwest Davis County long before it was moved to Bloomfield at the Historical Society complex. The quilt was made between 1840, when Martha married Joel Harbor, and when she died in 1864. As you can see, the current painting is a reinterpretation of the original pattern. Cactus flower. Applique quilts in patterns of red and green, like this cactus flower, were popular when the nimble fingers of Nancy Dillon Brewster created a quilt in her sod home about 3/4 of a mile northeast of this barn. The quilt, created in 1852 through 1853, has been handed down through 5 generations to Charles Scott of Bloomfield. State Fair block. White Cross was the winning quilt pattern submitted by Mary Bell Davis to be rendered in tile on the Richard O. Jacobson Exhibition Center on the Iowa State Fairgrounds. A quilt pattern from each county was selected to incorporate Iowa's heritage of quilting. As a Christmas gift in 2010, Mary Bell's daughter-in-law, Jessica Davis, used the pattern to create this barn quilt block. Double Nine Patch. When Zella Cassell was 16, she befriended her aunt, America Glasgow, who lived in rural Pulaski. America, with Zella's assistance, made a double 9 patch quilt for Zella's Hope Chest, circa 1895. 4-patch on point. This block was created by Hazel Proctor Piper in the 1940s. She and husband Charles Piper built Piper's Conoco Station on Highway 63 and operated it until 1978. This photograph shows the barn where the 4-patch was displayed, and it's owned by their grandson, the late Chris Piper, and his wife Marla. White Family Crest. Sharon White Thomas commissioned a local artist to create this White Family crest in the form of a barn quilt. The White family immigrated to America from Ireland. This farm, purchased in 1892 by James White, is currently owned by the 5th and 6th generations of his descendants. The Crosswords Corner is known locally as White's Corner. Carolina Lily. This quilt was a prized possession brought here from Indiana in 1808 by the wife of the Reverend W. W. Miller when he was called to the ministry at the Pulaski Mennonite Church. The quilt has passed through 6 generations of the family. Unfortunately, however, it is no longer displayed. Friendship. The blocks for this quilt were made by friends of Gladys Meredith when she married Harold Boffman in 1929. They raised a family on this farmstead. Although Gladys quilted for decades, these blocks were not quilted until daughter-in-law Anne Marie enlisted the help of a quilting friend in 2007. Thank you so much for joining us on this brief trip around Davis County and its beautiful historical quilts. If you'd like to know more about visiting Davis County, Iowa, please contact the Davis County Welcome Center at 641-664-1104. And thank you.